Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Talk of the Town. I'm David Camden, and I'm joined alongside Jonathan Hefflin.
What's up, man?
Also known as TheeJonboi, for anybody else that doesn't know.
It's been a while.
John is a photographer and a business owner, right?
Yeah.
How many businesses do you own?
Technically, I'm a business owner of 3 businesses. One's still on the down low.
Ooh. I want to hear about that one. Tell me about that. No, we'll start with the oldest one. What's
Aiming Arrow Photography.
Aiming Arrow Photography.
Yeah, so I'm a wedding photographer and I shoot weddings.
So you don't shoot any more private, hey, my senior photos, hey this, hey that. You've moved away from that. You like to do the wedding stuff.
Well, yeah, I specialize in what I say is lifestyle and weddings. So seniors are still in that.
Right.
I really like working with seniors because they're not in the world yet.
And you mean seniors as in high school students, not seniors as in 70 plus.
Yeah, I work with high school seniors, and they're not really thrown into the world yet, you know. So I really like to pick their brains and talk to these guys.
So you can sharpen that iron before they get out there and get discouraged.
Which water's mine?
Which one do you want?
I'll take this one.
Okay, so you set the one you wanted in front of me. Okay. Yeah, I don't care. They look pretty, though. Thanks for the water.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, a lot of people don't know. You and I have known each other a long time. We grew up in Southern Hills.
A very long time.
Very long time ago. Those of you that don't know Southern Hills, it's an apartment complex in Tahlequah. It's income-based. And that's where we started skateboarding.
Yes.
Skateboarding brought a lot of us together.
Wait, but if you know Tahlequah within the last few years, or Southern Hills in the last few years, it was not like you know now.
well, they named it Garden Walk now.
Oh, okay.
So the name is nicer, but I've heard the facility isn't exactly nice.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It is very rough.
Well, John and I grew up in a similar type of an atmosphere. We grew up in poverty. We had to do what we had to do.
Dang,
did
really?
you know your dad?
I didn't.
Yeah, I think I met my dad when I was 18, so it seemed like a lot of us, we didn't know our dads. We just...
That's awful.
We got to change that.
We got to change that.
Yeah, we're both fathers.
Yep.
I've got my second son on the way.
Dang.
How old is your daughter, Birdie, now?
She's 3. She's about to be 4.
Oh, my gosh. It feels like it's a week.
I know. Even being a stay-at-home dad, like, I thought when people would say, oh, they grow up so fast, I thought that meant because they have a 9 to 5 plus a babysitter, you know, so those people don't really see them huge chunks of the time through the weeks. I work at home and I see her 24/7 and it's still, she just flies.
Exactly. My phone has this little memory thing that pops up and it will say like, best of this area or best of trips to Tulsa. And it's the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you don't realize how much they've grown. You know, I've got, every once in a while I'll look at my background and the baby on the background isn't the same baby anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, how old is this photo? You know what I mean? I switch it. But it's crazy. The time will just fly by.
Yeah, it really does. And then there's all these worries like school shootings and stuff like that.
Yeah, wasn't there a threat just not long ago? Where was that at?
I don't know. I don't watch the news anymore because of it.
Some girls had a gun in their car. Maybe it was Bartlesville or Jinx. I'd be lying if I said exactly, but the police were able to get the students in the parking lot with this loaded gun.
Jeez.
And yeah, I mean that's happening a lot. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I'm just gonna homeschool her. We're just gonna...
Well, I guess then you get to see her all day long. Maybe the time would go a little slower then.
For sure.
Well, let's jump into this, okay? So I have here on my paper, you are self-taught design and photography. Now, I remember you always being in the NSU library, the NSU Net Lab. You lived in there.
I spent nights in there.
You slept in there.
Well, I had work, and the supercomputers made it to where you can't save it onto their computers. So when I had huge gigs, I couldn't leave. If I left my work, I couldn't save it and take it with me. Like I didn't have a jump drive. So I had to leave the computer on. Like I'd sleep underneath it. And not only that, you can't let it go to sleep. So
you gotta wiggle the mouse every
So I
once
was
in a
laying
while.
underneath the table. I was like, the mouse cord is hanging off, and I would just pull it every like a minute or so, and just pull it.
How do you even wake up to pull it? You're not even sleeping. You're basically just milking a cow while you sleep.
Milking a cow.
So
you still up? Sometimes I have to go look and check. Like, oh, sweet, good. I need to finish this and get out of here.
So this type of a motivation is not new to you. This has been a grind a long time. People are seeing your success now and think, oh man, he shot up real quick. But this wasn't quick, right?
No, yeah. And I think one of the things that really helped me push further, I didn't really realize until just recently that I never hold myself accountable to anyone's skill level that's around me. I always have my eye on people who are big in the industry itself. And I keep myself accountable to theirs. So even though I'm pushing, people will say your stuff is so good, but I just wouldn't feel like it because I would be holding myself to their level.
Right. That happens with skateboarding a lot. See, I got to the point where I was like, man, I'm winning a lot of contests in Oklahoma. I'm going to go pro. I got out to California, and there are some big fish. My skateboarding level in Oklahoma is good. When I get to California, I'm just another kid at the skate park. I went to the barracks.
That's insane.
I was kick flipping down the 10 stair. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. This kid comes up. He's got to be 8 years old, and he hard flipped the stairs behind me. His butt hit the ground. Took the impact. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then so I saw they had In-N-Out Burger. I said, well, I'm going to get a burger. I'm going to watch. Yeah, but I mean, it puts it in perspective, you know what I mean? And if you put yourselves up against the greatest people, iron sharpens iron, and you will succeed. You will come up.
That's absolutely for sure. I definitely believe in, keeping your 5 closest friends like at a higher level.
Exactly, because you're going to be like the people you hang around. A lot of people say that. You want to see what you're going to be like. Look at the people you're hanging around. Are they going places? Are they nice? And if not, those qualities are going to rub off on you. So you put yourself around great people, or at least you aspire to. Yeah. And then that keeps you moving forward, right?
And I've even heard people saying like, no, I hang out with these friends, but only because he's my cousin, and I need to keep him around because he's family, blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't rub off on me. I make sure to keep him over here. And that's just not true. That's not how it works.
It's not possible, is it?
What it is our brains, neuroscientists have found out that we have this thing called mirror neurons. And you mimic the people you're around and the things that you're around. The music that you hear, you mimic and reflect it. It's not something you can control. I had to quit listening to a lot of bad music because it made me want to go party. It made me want to do these things. I was like, man, I got to cut this out. Why am I feeling this way? And sure enough, it was the music. It was this kind of a thing. And another thing is, I've heard from a lot of successful people, sometimes your family can discourage you more than anybody else. Yes. They don't see your dream the way you see it. I was going to say that if you didn't say that. Yeah, they would say, hey, what are you doing this photography for, John? There's a job over here. Work at Cherokee Nation. Stay in Tahlequah your whole life. Yeah, I totally... That's another thing. You got out of Tahlequah. Yes, I totally got that, dude. When I was growing up and my older cousin was going to be a doctor, family members were saying, like, you need to find a real job and not do this photography, something you can get paid from. And I was like, man, way to just... Yeah, you just took that fire right out from underneath mine. But now you're making good money. You're self-supporting, you actually do really well, right? Yeah. And you've upped your clientele as well. You've realized your own value and made your clientele match the value you see in yourself, right? Yes. Now I get to work on multiple businesses. Now I have the time to hang out with my daughter and work on building multiple businesses. So. And don't you think you're probably enjoying yourself more than maybe the next guy working a 9-to-5 just after the dollar sign? Oh, yeah, definitely. I think, though, money's not the full thing that helped me get there, because when I first got there making the money, I was still feeling the troubles that a person with a 9-to-5 would have. And I learned that I had to change my mindset, change the way that I thought, and learn to stop chasing rabbit holes, with ideas. They would just come into me and I'd go, oh, this, and then just overwhelm myself. And even though I was making tons of money and feeling amazing in that sense, I was still being drugged down by that old mindset.
So do you think you were almost wearing yourself a little thin? Like you just weren't, it was a place where you needed to become satisfied.
Yes.
And you needed to tell yourself, you are satisfied.
You nailed it on the head.
You're doing good. Just slow down and enjoy it a little bit.
Yes. Where my work really took a turn was when I switched to this new mindset where I wanted whatever I create, if everyone else was dead on the earth,
right.
Whatever I create, I want to make sure that would make me happy. Like if I was the only person alive, whatever I create, this would make me go, what? Heck
right.
yeah.
And you're passionate about
I
it.
love that.
You show somebody something, it's not just work. It's look what I've done, look what I've created, and people can see that passion behind it.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's so much things that I'm working on that social media doesn't see. Before, I used to just blast it and go, look, because I needed that
affirmation.
The affirmation from other people. I almost gave them, in a sense, that power.
And that's something I also had to learn. I'm a person, a lot of people that know me know that I really thrive off of affirmation. Somebody tells me good job, it powers me to go on to the next. And I had to learn that sometimes you're just not going to get it.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to motivate yourself, then you're going to get stuck. You're going to grow stagnant because you're not always going to hear nice words.
Yeah, and not only that, it's almost like affirmation or that, what is it called? Like the I don't know. Like it's almost like it's a thing, and when you give it to other people, you no longer have it. Like it's almost like now I can only get it from those other people.
Okay, so you limit the ways that you feel this joy of affirmation because you're either giving it to them all the time and you're always giving and not receiving, and or the only time you feel affirmation is when they tell you rather than just looking at your own work and going,
no, I'm
good.
I'm trying to explain like what it feels like before, like it with in a bad sense, almost like how I used to do it. Like I would it almost felt like I was giving it to, piecing it out to these people, and then now when I create something, I couldn't feel that happiness from my own creations. I had to go get those pieces from those people.
From everybody else.
Yeah. So I had to learn how to just create something that only I would, if only I saw it, it'd be amazing.
It still made you happy.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably been monumental.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me, design work, are you still doing design work?
I am. I keep it on the lower end because I don't want to be swamped with too many design things, because when you design for people, sometimes they have, a lot of time business owners know, they're like, I know what I want, but I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what colors. I don't know what size.
Right. That's something I learned when I went to NSU, got my degree in graphic design, and that was something I learned really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these people, they need to just make it themselves almost. I mean, it doesn't matter what you bring them. They're not going to be happy.
Like, I know it when I see it, so just keep showing me stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
keep going. I'm not paying you for any of those ones either. Just keep whipping out some more stuff till I like what you did.
Yeah, that's awful. So I definitely like working on stuff where it's like I get the free, or I get the creative control,
Yeah, every once in a while you get this customer that's like, I don't know, just do you. And that's the projects that are fun, aren't they? They just trust you to just do what you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where, like, whenever I started my skateboard company, that was one of the things. I was always trying to work towards somebody else's dream, and I would have such great ideas, and sometimes they would just be like, no. Why not?
Yeah, I
don't need a reason why not. No.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah, and so
it feels like you're asking a girl out and she's going no.
Nope. Yeah, that rejection. Ugh.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason.
Well, Cody Hogshooter and I started Plug Skateboards.
Yeah, I saw that.
Almost a year ago now, and the following is huge. And people told us a lot of discouraging things. They said, "Oh, you're only going to be popular for a little bit," or "Oh, this is going to flop." Man, we have sold out in a month flat on every graphic.
Dang. We have one here with us?
Yeah, I got one here with us. This one's for you. This right here is by Tony Amison. He's the art teacher in Tahlequah High School. His his little brother Carl used to skate with us. That one's for you.
What, dude?
You can hang that in your apartment.
Check that out.
Yeah, he's talented.
Dude, that's insane.
And that's another thing I learned. I started off...
I didn't even see the arrow through his head, dude.
This art is called Battle Bound. Tony did this for one of his relatives. It was going to be a tattoo.
And he said no?
He may have, he may not. I don't know.
No.
He approached me and was like, I wish this artwork could see more light of day. And I was like, awesome. How much do I have to pay you for it? He said, just give me a board when they're done. What? You know what I mean? And I've paid people significantly more than what this board is worth. And I kind of learned the hard way.
What size is it?
That's an 825. It's got the stamp on the top. We go through Clutch distribution. We checked out a bunch of distributions, Cody and I.
Yeah.
And Cody weighed almost 200 pounds. So, myself, I'm not going to break a board.
Yeah.
But Cody is. So we tried Progress, we tried Prime, we tried Clutch, and these boards lasted like twice as long as any of the other boards.
What does that mean, though? They sent you boards for you to try and test?
They're not free, but they send them to you at cost.
Oh, dang.
And so then you can try out the product. Also, the packaging was better. The shrink wrap is stronger.
Yeah.
When I got some of these other boards,
yeah.
You touch them and it just falls apart before you can even sell it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude, this is solid.
And if you look
can
at
hang from it.
Yeah, if you look at like here on the top where the sticker is, they mark their sizes on every board. That seems small to you, but I got these other boards. They didn't have that on the top, and I have to write it with a Sharpie, and automatically it doesn't look as nice.
Yeah.
Another thing is the stained top veneer, having a colored top and a colored bottom ply. That costs 50 cents extra per board, but if you don't do it, it looks cheap.
Yeah.
So you can't shrimp out on those kinds of things. You know what I mean? You've got to do it the right way.
The detail on this is insane.
Exactly, and
insane.
It's a great product. I mean,
how did we get this graphic to you?
Okay, the way it'll work is, I believe with this specific one, he painted this on a canvas, and then he brings it into Photoshop. You can set up a canvas 9-inch by 33-inch. You leave it in the rectangle, and then he just Photoshop infused where it says plug on the top, the logo on the bottom, and he kind of did a little bit of, in the background, there's a little bit of cloudiness and such. And then...
Oh, yeah, I see that.
And so, from there, all I have to do is just send it over to Clutch. Their graphic design department mocks it up onto a skateboard, and then they send me a proof. I say yes, takes 4 to 6 weeks, boom, boards are to me.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
dude, that's so cool.
It actually, this here is it's a silk screen, like a...
Yeah, they just...
And they put it on there almost like a big sticker.
Yeah. And
then they cut around. So it doesn't matter. You can have as many colors as you want. Pay one flat fee. They'll do it CMYK style. And you can, as much as you want. I could take a photo of you sitting in that chair. And they could put that on the skateboard. 100%. And it's...
How many screens is that, man?
I believe that once it's printed out, it's just one. They call it a transfer.
Oh, okay.
And then they just put it onto the wood.
So they do it from... I see.
So whenever they send you a picture of it, it looks like a bunch of little laminated, like big stickers. And then they put it on there and cut around the edge.
Dang,
and that's the way
this is legit.
And that's the way everybody does it. And I never knew that. I didn't get to see that side of things. Well, let's go back here. I've got moving from Tahlequah. So what led to you going, you know what? I need out. I got to get out of here and spread my wings. Was there like one specific thing that happened, or was it a time of your life where there was an opportunity that was out there and that kind of took you that way? Or what led you to leave in Tahlequah?
I believe it was through a friend that lived here. And
here in Tulsa?
Yeah, here in Tulsa. And I was always in Tahlequah, and I was like, nah, that big city, I don't know about that. But like, they're too fast, too cool, and stuff like that. I was like, I'm pretty good here. Like, I have a lot of friends.
Right.
I have all the Indian, like, benefits and
exactly. And that's what keeps me there. I live in an Indian home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So once you plant too many roots, it's hard to leave.
Yeah, for sure. And then they showed me, like, the good side. They showed me all the rich people. I networked with a lot of rich people. And then one of them had me do their senior photos. And they're like, so how much do you charge? Not too much, right? And I was like, oh, one of these people, it doesn't matter. They're rich. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, not too much. And he was like, I only have about 800-900. And I was
You're like, oh, whoa, you got to fall out of the chair. I can do it for that.
No, I actually said, I was like, yeah, it's a little bit higher than that, but I could work with your budget. I didn't want him to think.
So did that set the tone? You were like,
yes.
Wow, this guy, like, that got you thinking, I'm worth this much now.
Yeah, I went there and I was like, I literally saw that the grass is greener on the other side.
The same kind of thing happened with me, actually. Okay, there was a time when I didn't have a job, So I was just kind of looking for work. And my wife, Kelsey, her stepdad's mom, they call her Nana Judy. She has this big garden, and she is just, I mean, a plant guru. You ask her a question, she knows it about plants. So she had me working at her house. I would dig up trees, transplant them, move it to the other side. I would clear out brush, whatever she needed. It really wasn't much. But she paid me $15 an hour to do this. And
dang.
On top of that, if you worked longer than 3 hours that day, she would give you $10 for your gas. And
dang.
I was only living like 3 miles away. She knew this. She goes, no, your time's valuable. After working for her, I never worked for less than $15 an hour ever again. You know what I mean? And now I don't even work for that little of an amount. But you know what I mean? It's once somebody shows you your value, you go, oh my goodness, have I been selling myself short this whole time?
Mm-hmm. And
you realize those clients are out there, and you've kind of been wasting time with the smaller fish when there's bigger fish out there, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I've even met people who are getting paid way more than me. Well, back in the day, and their work was awful, and I was like, man, they don't even have the passion for it. They just market it to these rich people and then get paid for mediocre stuff.
Right.
And I'm over in Tahlequah, like having this amazing passion for it and pushing hard, and then getting paid mediocre pay.
Right, exactly.
It's so backwards.
I remember you gave my sister some tips on photography.
Oh yeah, Dustin.
Yeah, she came and she said that she said she was going to pay you for your time because it was that valuable to her, and she has more than made up for what she spent from your counsel. And now she sends me these projects she's working on. She's excited all the time. And she's driven to do these projects because the pay is right.
Yes.
They see her.
Especially in Alabama. Is she still in Alabama?
Yeah, she's still in Alabama. You went to Alabama, right?
Yeah, I lived in Alabama for a little over a year.
What's in Alabama? Why is everybody going to Alabama?
Dude, Alabama is the place. When I first was going there, because I had a job offer.
Did you roll Tide?
I rolled Tide. All the way till now, dude. I rolled Tide.
Okay.
I'm 100% for those people. Like never. In the short time I was there, their people treated me like more than what I was worth. Sometimes I was like, Are you sure?
Do you have the wrong person?
You sure? You sure it's me?
Okay, yeah.
Like, they treated me so much better than anyone, not anyone in Oklahoma, but just the general population.
A general rule, yeah.
It's just way higher. Like, here it's a little more hipster. Like, everyone has their cliques, and they don't really like to bring in new people. So, like, no, we're good. We got a photographer, or we got a videographer, we got a design dude. I'm like,
dude, the same thing in the skateboarding community up here. It took me a long time to even feel accepted.
You really gotta like.
I've been pushing myself. I'm in skateboarding almost 19 years now. You know what I mean? It's a long time. I've been in the scene. It took a long time just to get the skateboarders sometimes to even say, hey, now I'm part of the group and it feels good. You know what I mean?
That does not give anyone from Tahlequah hope. If you gotta be as good as David and then still jump through hoops to be in their cliques.
Dude, I'm not even the top dog anymore. Now I'm trying to keep up. Tahlequah put in that new skate park. We worked for that skate park a long time, and it's finished now. We've got a $350,000 skate park now. Dude, these kids are amazing. These kids are 14 years old hitting the big rails, hitting the big stairs, doing tricks that took me way longer to get to. And part of it is like this social media. They're on Facebook and Instagram watching pros do incredible things.
So tutorials.
I started off watching VHS tapes.
Me too.
Okay, Paceline Cyclery would get a new VHS skate video maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah, the girl videos.
Yeah, Flip Sorry was the first one I got
Sorry.
And it was all yellow VHS tape. And me and all my buddies, Max Talbot, Ronnie, Roger, all of us, we popped that in and we're just, ready to watch. And now, don't get me wrong, that skateboarding is amazing. But I can do a lot of that stuff. But now you watch Nigel Houston.
I know.
And he's down these handrails, you know what I mean? Grinding down El Toro 20-set switch. Like, what the heck? And these kids think that it's just possible. And they're right. They're pushing themselves to do it. But, I mean, if I would have been born 10 years before, I would have been pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then aside from that, myself, and I try to tell a lot of these young adults, try not to get into a relationship that's too serious in high school.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me.
Do not do that.
Don't do it. But I wanted a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted a cell phone. And because I wanted the girls to like me. I wanted the other people to like me. And then it became like I had to work for that car payment all the time. I had to work to keep the gas and the insurance and the phone bill. And it got to where skateboarding went farther and farther and farther on the back burner. And then once I realized the mistake, I was a little too old.
You got lost.
Yeah,
Lost in
and
it.
these skateboarding companies, they want to sponsor you at like 11 and 12 years old and then mold you into what you will eventually be and have a long career. Most skateboarders tend to tap out around 30 years old. There's a few guys that are pushing it past that, but you've got to be real marketable after that age.
Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't made it in at that point, it's a lot harder. Not to say that it's impossible, but you know.
A lot harder on your joints.
Yeah, it's a lot harder on your joints.
I'm only 30 now, and I feel like it's really hard to bounce back. Like, I skate longboards now just so I can still feel the board under my feet, and like to risk, my ankles.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you the other side of it. The other side of it is when you're a child, you play all the time. And that might sound like too much to you, but you're going to play soccer, you're going to play basketball, you're going to play tag with your friends. You're constantly running. You're in PE. You're doing all these athletic things just because it's fun to you. Well, then you fast forward to being an adult and you sit in a chair 9 to 5 for months at a time. Then you go, ooh, I want to go skateboard, thinking that those muscles are still there, and they are not there anymore. Well, this can lead to sprains, tendon hurting, things like this. Because as a skateboarder, if you don't have, your quads and your calves and everything around your knees built up, it puts pressure in those places.
Ugh.
So that's one of those things where you've almost got to stay in the gym in order to keep doing this as you get older.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that you are older. It's also the fact that you're not using it as much. You don't have the time to use it as much.
Staying in motion, yep.
Yeah, if you were to just, be playing all day, then you'd be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't all do that.
You're absolutely right.
So tell me, you went from Tahlequah to Tulsa, and you stayed how long, and then you went to Alabama?
I stayed in Tulsa for two years, and then I went to Alabama. And like I said, I had a job offer there, and the people just treated me so much well. Like, I think even being away from my family is really what helped me push the most. I made the most money when I was in Alabama.
Okay.
I think what it was, though, was, here when you're in their states near your mom, you're like, you don't have to go almost too hard because you're like, oh, no, I have my mom to fall back. I got that cushion. And then there,
it's all you.
It happened, and it was all on me. There was 800 plus miles in between us, like, oh crap.
Now you're an adult.
Now I'm an adult. I think that, though, also helped me push. I made the most money and the most connections there. Like, it really, put my back to the wall, like, oh, man, there's nothing behind me. We gotta.
So that pushed you to show your real greatness.
Yeah.
And so you would like to say that even without all the benefits of Cherokee Nation and everything, you were financially doing better in Alabama when you were just grinding harder.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep, exactly. Like, I shot for famous people there. I shot for NFL football players.
Who's the most famous person pops in your head? Who's one of the...
Probably, Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas? Come on now, you shot for the Black Eyed Peas?
I didn't get to meet Fergie, but I got to meet the other three.
Oh, never mind. No, I'm just kidding. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I got to talk to will.i.am. I got, really deep conversation with him, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because the third one, I guess they were partying after one of the football games or something, and we were shooting for them afterwards. So one of them was late, and the manager went to go get them to check on them. I guess the hotel was kind of far away, and during that time while they're doing all this, we have all the lights set up and everything just waiting. And at the time I was shooting for a newspaper, so they were going to just shake the hands with a mayor or something like that. So we're just hitting there hanging out. The mayor's on his phone constantly, he's constantly ringing, and the other dude, Apple something.
Apple something?
I forget his name. Is it Apple B or something like that?
I don't know. You said will.i.am, and I was just like, oh, will.i.am.
That's what I was thinking. He was on his phone like crazy.
Sorry, Apple B or what. I'm sure
Shout out to Applebee for watching.
I was about to be like, Apple? You don't know of Apple? No, just kidding.
No, but the will.i.am dude, man, he got in some deep conversation. He was definitely, I mean, I don't do drugs, I don't know drugs, but he was definitely on something.
Right. But
so he was, you know how when someone, or maybe even just from the day before, maybe it was coming over.
like a second day haze.
Yeah, because his eyes were bloodshot, like almost watery, but he had glasses on and he kept them on. I was like, we're indoors, bro. He goes, no, I keep my shades on. And I was like, but I could tell that he was saying things that he normally probably wouldn't have said when he was right-minded.
Oh, okay.
Because he was going in deep, saying how, like, because I was asking him about, I was like, I want to see, I was like, if you're cool, I got some questions. And he was like, yeah, man, what's up? And I was like, your Instagram. Can I see your Instagram, like the back end? And I was like, what are your likes? Like, what are your followers? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what is it like when you post something and then your phone gets blown up? And he was like, no. I don't keep my notifications on. And he was like, because it'll literally freeze my phone until it shuts off.
So some of these people, if you comment to them and then you're like, man, they didn't even respond or they didn't like it, they may not have even seen it.
Yeah, they don't ever see it. It gets lost, just flooded. And like, I was like, can you turn it on? He was like, dude, I would, but I need to keep my phone ready.
It would just lock it up.
Yeah, it would lock his phone up.
Was he?
I was like, what? And I was like, can I at least see your request folder, your DMs? And he was like, yeah, man. And he was like, let me check if it will show something you need to see. And he was like, yeah, man, look. And I looked at it, and in Instagram, you have your normal DMs. It doesn't say how many there are, I don't think. But on the right side, there's a request folder. And it said 2.3 million in the request folder.
Oh, my God. 2.3 million people just trying to
people
send a
going, hey, bro, message
great.
me back. I love you.
Tell Applebee I said hi. Let me ask you something real quick, though. Was he intimidated by your dance moves? Come on now. Tahlequah High School, I remember Crank That Soldier Boy. I don't remember you gliding around. If you guys didn't know, John had the moves.
I did. You know what sparked that was in Sequoia before Tahlequah, there was this dude, and he could do that glide. And that was when those movies started coming out, like Stomp the Yard.
Oh, yeah, those were awesome. I love those. And Honey and, like,
yeah,
all of that. Those were sick.
Well, on the back, if you bought the DVD, there was like a tutorial thing on the back end of it. You go in there, and it showed you how to do, like, little dance moves. And I, like, practiced, like, maybe 4 to 5 hours a day. Every day for a long time. So this is your personality. If you like something, you're going to perfect it. Yeah.
Even if it's gliding around and moving your hat. You're gonna be the best hat mover and glider there is.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of it, but that's what I like to do. When I really want to do something, I go in hiding and I just go perfect it. I don't want it to show anyone until, like...
I don't know anybody else sleeping underneath the desk milking the mouse. I can tell you that. I never have heard anybody else willing to do that.
Oh, man.
That's insane. And you built all these skills. Did you ever actually take a college course?
Well,
like a paid-for college course, not one you snuck into or something like this?
Well, yeah, it's funny you said that. Did I tell you that story where I snuck into the classes?
No, I was kidding.
Oh. Well, I was going to college at NSU in Tahlequah, and I was going to do photography and design, and I had to do the stupid basics like everyone else has to do.
Was Peter Henshaw there at that time?
Yeah, Peter was there.
He is great. Shout out Peter Henshaw.
Peter.
He is so awesome.
Yeah, he's super cool. And so I was going to college, doing dumb basics. I was doing it over and over. They even put me in, like, elementary algebra.
Me too. They'd make you take that test?
Yeah. Dude, I was doing good on the test until I swung my foot and hit my skateboard, and I was like, oh, I brought my skateboard.
Oh my God. I'm done.
They were like, what?
Just put me in remedial math. I don't care. Just get it going.
I just got a new board, and I wanted to skate. But, so, going through these dumb basics, and then I was like, I'm just going to go sneak in the photography class. I just want to know the photography, I just want to know it. I don't care about the stupid credit. I'm already a full-time photographer in college, getting paid to do it, and then that money's going to college that I'm not learning anything about photography yet.
Right.
So I go and I sneak in. I had like a hood on, and I go to the back, hide behind a computer, goes over a roll, and he was like, "You, who are you?" And I was like,
"Dang it,
dang it, he got me." And I was like, "I'm John," and he was like, "Are you in this class?" And I was like, "I think
yes.
I'm in." I go, "Yeah, I think I'm in next period. Is it cool if I just sit?" And he goes, "What's your name?" I was like, "Darn it, okay, I'm not in this thing, but this is where I want to be." And I was like, "Can I just sit in?" And he was like, "Nope, get out." And I was like, "What?" So I left. I went to talk to the people, and they were like, they made him let me sit in there. So I sit in there, and like he was going over the books, and like he was just reading the book. He didn't even care about photography. This dude was like,
it wasn't Peter?
No, it wasn't Peter.
I was gonna say, this doesn't sound like Peter.
No, it wasn't Peter. And he was like, "We're gonna go over this today," and he was like, "I think it's like when you put two exposures over each other," and I was like, or no, when you put two photos over each other and they see through it. He was like, "It's called something," and I was like, "Double exposure," and he was like, "No, page or chapter, whatever," and he was like, "Double exposure, here it is." I was like, "Oh
said
my
that."
gosh." And then literally like everyone that sit around me started like trying to get there first so they could sit near me because they were like asking me questions, and I was like, "This is how you do that. This is how you do that."
So you were almost like the tutor of the class at that point.
I was like, you know what? This is so dumb. I'm paying these people
to teach them.
Yeah. This has became like I'm paying for these dumb classes to sneak into a class that I'm not in yet to teach the people that are in the class because I know more than this freaking teacher knows. So I was like, that's when I dropped out. I was like, nope, I'm out. And what I did was I hit up Alabama, Colorado, Texas, Florida, California, and New York. And I went on the Craigslist, and I was just like, anyone that sold a camera.
Craigslist.
Yeah,
okay.
Back in the day,
okay.
Anyone that sold the camera, they were in the camera business, and I only went towards the higher end cameras, higher end lenses. And every time they would sell something, I would hit them up and go, "Hey, like, what are you doing? What do you have going on?
Oh, wow.
What's your business? What's your company? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah." And I got some bites and stuff, but the best one was in Alabama, and I worked for a production company. They brought me in, and I worked on it was really like a leap of faith because they weren't allowed to tell me what it was, just that it would pay a lot, and they couldn't say
on Craigslist.
On Craigslist.
Bring a tarp.
They don't want to like say what it is, so people don't go, "Oh, me." You know what I mean?
Right. That aren't qualified.
Yeah, that are not qualified. So I showed him my work, and he was like, "Yes, you're it. Let's go."
So did you always have a portfolio ready?
Yeah, I always had a portfolio ready.
Okay.
A digital one and one I could send on PDF and one I could send through my text messages.
Okay, so you had different qualities of how big the file was in case you just needed it right then.
Yep.
You were always prepared.
I was always ready.
That is awesome.
And then what it ended up being was I shot for 2 movies there. One was $1 million movie. It's not released even yet. It's still been like 3 years. And then I worked for Discovery
Now,
Channel.
this isn't an adult film, right?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No. The high-paying job was from... Actually, the $1 million movie paid me really good. And
I'd hope so.
And then the Discovery Channel TV show I did paid me really good.
Discovery Channel.
Yeah, I worked for Discovery America.
What were they discovering on this episode?
Well, what it was this old like hillbilly who knew all the hunters from there.
This was Tahlequah?
No,
I'm kidding.
So it sounds like he went to this like crazy expensive. His parents died, and he inherited all their money. This is not a young dude. This is like a 50-year-old. And he lived with his parents because they were rich. They died. He got all the money. He went to a Cordon Bleu and then some other like cooking college and became like one of the best like cookers.
Culinary school.
Yeah,
of some
culinary
kind.
thing. So what he did was he started a TV show. Went to Alabama. Went to each one of those hunters that he knew that were really good skilled at hunting a certain animal or birds or fish or whatever. And then he would go with them to hunt, and then he would cut them up and show you how to like prepare the fish out in the wild and then in the kitchen. So we'd go hunt fish or fish.
It's still kind of hunting.
And then he would cut it up on spot and then cook it, and then he would go to the kitchen and cut it up and then.
Can we find that on YouTube?
That's a good question. They're still building it.
That sounds cool.
All these like production things, they take years. They build it up and then they pretend that
it just happened.
No, like they haven't even shot yet. Like they're like, hey, we want to do this. This is where we want to go, but they already did it. And then we need your money first, and they already shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So however fake you think TV is,
it's even worse.
Way worse.
So whenever I see something and I think it's new, it's not new.
It's not new. It's like 3 years old.
If there was a calendar in the background, I'd be like, wait.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that says what year?
Yeah, like, and they are strict. They are strict. The reason that I quit that job because they paid good. They paid about $800 a day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I made around. I think I worked for them for 6 months, and for that year I made around 80, 90 grand.
My goodness.
Yeah, I made a lot.
So that's when you were saying that's when you were making the best money.
But that was also like I needed a change because I'm so like artsy and cool, you know what I mean? And they were like, no artsy, and I was like, what if I shoot it the way you want? And then also throw in this cool little, shot. And they're like, no. I'm like, well, if I just do it on my own, can I have it? No. I was like, can I do it on my phone? No. You can't have your phone on set whatsoever. And I was like, wow. Like, you can't even post while you're on set. You can't even post something that you're doing that's not related to it while you're on set.
Oh my gosh, they are micromanaging everything.
They gave me a book thicker than your notebook of rules that I cannot do. Like, we can't show the fish squirm, we can't show the fish bleed, nothing scream for its life.
It's a fish.
I know, and you're a hunting show.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He didn't just come over to me.
So, at that point, once you had a lot of success in Alabama, did you go, you know what, I want to go back to where my family is?
No.
Or what?
After I was killing it, I was like, no, I'm freaking killing it. But I started having a baby. Went to the hospital.
Oh.
Turns out...
Birdie was coming.
It turns out you don't have insurance outside the state of Oklahoma. And I was like, what? And I went and...
But you couldn't go to a Native American hospital somewhere else?
There's not one there. There's not one in all of Alabama.
I was born in Gallup, New Mexico, at the Indian Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my sister and I both.
Dang.
Actually, your social security number, like mine starts with 601. That's like the area you're in. So like everybody in Oklahoma will have the same number as well, or at least Tahlequah and Muskogee. And I was born in Gallup, New Mexico, because that was the nearest Indian hospital to Holbrook, Arizona, where all of my family lives.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I mean, there are Native American hospitals, but obviously there wasn't one where you were at.
Well, yeah, it wasn't one near my area. And they said that I came back to Tahlequah, to Oklahoma, to see if I can go to the hospital there and just send the bill over or something.
Right,
and they said that we can, but usually it doesn't get there in time, so you end up having to pay for whatever it is anyways.
So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to risk that.
And against a lot of popular belief, the Cherokee Nation Hospital is phenomenal.
Yeah,
People
they're redone. It's redone.
Yeah, they're building a huge new wing. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's as big as the old one. The new part is almost as big or bigger than what was already there.
That.
And people like to complain, but I mean, it's free if you're Native American. My wife and I had our child there, and they were more than accommodating. And they had phenomenal facility. You know what I mean? They were great.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Also, I'll tell you one thing. I get great service every time I go to the Cherokee Hospital because I'm nice to people. I say thank you. I ask them about their day, and people treat me better. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of rude, mean people that come through there, and they all feel entitled. Mm-hmm. And when you're putting out this kind of a vibe, people aren't just going to be nice to you. You know what I mean? So you get what you give, right?
Yeah, that's true. And then when you show something better than what they're used to, they're like, heck yeah, we need to send this guy to the front of the list.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
get him out of here. He's hanging out with all these.
Yeah, before they make him mean, get him on.
He's watching old Jerry in the waiting room.
So you came back to Oklahoma for health care for your daughter.
Yes, that's what brought me back.
And then you decided, now that I have a daughter, I want to stay where she's at, within grip of her. Is that what you did? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you just decided, at that time you were calling your photography something else, right? TheeJonboi photography. Or
it turned to Amigero when I was in Alabama.
Okay, so it was before you came back.
Before that, it was TheeJonboi photography.
So did you decide that not having your name in the title almost helped you?
Yeah, when it was TheeJonboi, they didn't really take it as serious because for some reason in the wedding industry, they don't think that guys can take pretty photos as girls. So they almost sexist in a way. So I changed it to Amigero, gave it this cool little handwriting thing, and made it pretty gold. And
you attracted who you wanted to attract.
Yep, and I attracted who I wanted to attract, exactly.
So I got here, growing your photography business. So did you get back and you just decided, I don't want to go work for nobody else. I've got enough skill now. I want to do this on my own. Did you already have all your camera equipment, or was that like a big investment for you? I'm sure you've got, thousands of dollars in camera equipment now, right?
Yeah, I got pretty good number.
So what'd you start with? What was the first camera where you were like, man, I love this camera. I'm going to do this?
My first camera was a Canon XTI. That thing that you have right there is like...
My little T5.
That thing is way above it.
Above the first one you had.
Yeah.
And this is an entry-level camera. I got this at Walmart. I don't think it was... Actually, Kelsey got this for me. And I don't think it was but a couple $100. Maybe $300.
Yeah, back in the day, they were a little bit more expensive. Mine was about $800. And yours is way better than mine.
So at what point were you like... Point-and-shoot cameras aren't good for me. I need a DLSR. I need to switch to manual mode. I need to set these settings.
Well, actually, I started off on a DSLR. Like, what happened was my aunt found a camera at a car wash. Someone left it there, washed their car, and drove away, I guess. And we turned it in, and no one came for it. So
you did the right thing, and then... Nothing. They said, hey, keep it.
Yeah, it's what at the time I was making YouTube videos. And I was like, they started letting you like pick the thumbnail, and I was like, oh man, everyone has these cool thumbnails. Now I gotta learn photos.
Right.
How to do photos. So I would pull stills out of the video, and it just wasn't as good quality. So then I started taking photos, and then I got pretty good at it. And then one of my friends, Micah Goodrich,
I know him.
Yeah.
He skateboarded.
Yeah, he did. He was making the videos with me, and his friend needed...
Who knows what that is? it must be Applebee. It's the only thing I can think.
Well, someone needed senior photos, and I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. So I did it for like $60, and I was like, heck yeah, dude. They just paid me for that. That was sweet.
I got something. Yeah. I'm not doing it for free. It's something.
For sure. And that's how it started. Just the thumbnails of YouTube. I was like, I gotta make these look cooler.
Yeah, I remember you filming down at the skate park.
Yeah, constantly.
I filmed a trick tip video with you.
You did.
Guys, if you want to learn backside flips, it's still on there. That's got thousands of views. I had my hair looked crazy. It was all cowlicked. You said, hey, you came all smiling. You want to film a video? I just woke up. I was like, all right, sure.
And little Daniel's still on there.
Yeah.
Well, he's not little anymore.
Oh my God. Daniel's taller than me, and when he laughs, in that video, his little bitty voice, hi, I'm Daniel Stone, and I'm going to teach you hill flips.
Yeah, hill flips. He was so good at it.
Yeah, we actually watched that not long ago. We watched all of the trick tip videos at Avenue Skate Shop, Wiley Henson, Avenue Skate Shop, just the other day.
Wiley.
Maybe a month ago. We were just watching all those old trick tips and your montage, your Tahlequah montage that you made. Do you don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
It was like at the Tahlequah skate park, and it was a promo for you were going to make a project, but the project ended up not happening because you got busy, but you made a super awesome promo.
That's right.
Ryan Stevens was in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else. I want to say Chance Guthrie was in it.
Oh, yeah, Chance was in it. Yeah, a few people. But
Chance was really good back then.
He was.
He's all about working out now.
Yeah, he's all about in his truck.
And his truck. He loves his truck. Hey, but Chance is a good dude. I'm glad he's happy. I told him that on Facebook. I'm like, man, I'm glad you found happiness. You know, you're not skateboarding. That's fine. I'm glad that you're happy.
You found what you...
Yeah, he found what made you... Yeah. So...
What you got on that list?
Okay, I got having a child and adjusting work to your dad life.
Well, that wasn't much of a. If anything, it was set up to, my job was already set up to have a kid. Like,
because you came back to Oklahoma knowing the child is here and you need to set this platform around it almost.
Yeah, and I worked from home, so at the time I worked about 3 days a month. So I got it to where I would do just 3 weddings per month every single month.
So you're telling me you could make your bills. I mean, I'm not saying you don't work every day because you got to edit those photos and that's going to take a lot of time.
It does.
But on the job site, and it might be a 12-hour day.
Yeah, it's
3 days out of the month, and you were doing all right. That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about my job to people because sometimes it's depressing. Not for me, though, but to them.
Right.
Just recently, I went to the dentist, and the lady was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And I was like, "I'm a photographer." And she was like, "Oh, that's nice. So you make a little good change?" And I was like, "Yeah,
sure.
I make some change." And she goes,
"Don't poke my teeth hard. I don't make much." No, just kidding.
She was like, I always want to be a photographer, but I just need the money. Or I need money more than a hobby. And I was like, she just kept going on and on. And
how many new photographers do you see each Christmas? Everybody gets their camera at Christmas, and they're all photographers now, right?
But what I found though is I like to teach now. I like to. So it's like a little funnel of just new photographers. And before I was like, oh man, it's getting so saturated, blah blah blah. But like they started coming through and then learning bad habits, and then everyone got so like cutthroat. And I was like, the only way that this is gonna change is if I do something like.
So can people still approach you for photography lessons? Like you're open to that right now?
Yeah, I do mentorships and then workshops when it's warmer.
Okay.
Outside.
So do they need to come to Tulsa? They need to come see you. Or get a hold of you, make an appointment, and they could be like, man, this is something I like. He's doing a good job. I want to go consult with JonBoi.
Yeah, I teach them how to start the business, what to look out for, how to do taxes, how to get into weddings, how to get into seniors, how to blow up both of them, how to get destination weddings, and how to get into magazines, and how to get into style shoots. A lot. I teach them a lot.
What do you use for your editing? Are you like getting the creative suite and paying monthly? Did you just buy the programs outright, or?
I know someone who works out of college, and they give me the code to the creative suite.
So
I get that. I get all the creative suite.
Are your programs updating all the time, or do you like to use the older versions?
Yeah, I keep up with the update just to make sure I don't get too old.
I find sometimes it's difficult because my MacBook doesn't always want to support the newest stuff they're putting out, and so I either got to upgrade my computer as far as the components inside of it, or I have to upgrade the entire thing. And are you faced with that? Like,
no.
Or are you still sneaking into the library and tugging the mouse? Is that you still doing that?
I'm old tugging the mouse. Just kidding. I keep my gear up to date, so my computer won't outdate for the next 4 years. So it's the top of the line, the Mac, the Big Mac.
The Big Mac.
Got the Big Mac.
I saw Calvin made some vegan Big Macs. I actually wanted to try one. I'm not into veganism.
Calvin's getting into veganism?
He's been into veganism. Oh. I'm going to interview him. He's one of the people. Calvin's into health and veganism. He has a little show called Cooking with Calvin.
No way.
He does. And at first,
he needs a new marketer because I haven't heard about it.
Well, there you go. Maybe Calvin needs to call you. And you could film him making his food. But I tell you what, he finishes the food and it looks delicious.
No way.
Yeah. And
we're going to have to check that out.
I thought it was goofy at first. And everybody will think your dream is goofy at first.
Yeah.
But he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's got sponsors on his Instagram.
No way.
Yeah, he's got sponsors. He's got
food sponsors?
Nativa, I want to say Whole Foods.
What is that?
HempWorks.
What's Nativa?
It's some type of organic protein.
What?
Organic protein powder. And
no way.
Yeah,
this is insane.
His social media has grown bigger than mine. I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah, you're going to have to show me that.
Yeah, I'll show you that. We'll get a hold of Calvin.
Yeah, have him come cook for us.
Yeah, I want to try it. I want to try it because I grew up with Calvin. I used to live with Calvin. I stayed with Calvin in Maryland for 2 years. Maryland is his mother.
Oh.
And, they made soul food. You know, I was eating good. They were fattening me up. And now Calvin's on this health kick. It's pretty impressive, I will say that.
Well, I don't know if Calvin is even seen the side of not healthy. He's been like
He's
crazy.
A naturally fit dude. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Some of us got to work a little bit harder to keep the weight off.
That is so dumb, Calvin.
He's just naturally skinny and we're jealous.
He was just constantly just jacked, and I was like,
yeah.
You don't work out. I know you don't work out. I don't
He
see
does,
you
though.
work out.
He does now. Yeah, he took some time off, but yeah, he's been hitting the gym hard. I saw him on...
Now he's hitting the dad life. I saw his dad stash.
His dad stash. Yeah, he's got this girlfriend named Mary down in Tahlequah.
Oh, yeah, I know Mary.
They enjoy each other, and he has stepped it up for her twins. And I see him down at the skate park. He got them both skateboards. I mean,
dang. Oh, you see the twins down there?
Yeah, the twins down at the skate park. They were at the last contest that we threw in Tahlequah. There's some
cool.
photos of them right there on the Instagram. You can see it's really cool. So tell me about your daughter. Tell me how that changed you.
Dude, that changed me. Okay.
Okay,
I
more
can't
than
really
elaborate.
Next question. Just kidding. Well, I got... How do I explain this? So, when you have a baby, some people have it good, and some people have it bad. And I had it, if this is bad, I had it way bad.
You told me about the book you had. The easy child and the normal child and the hard child. And
Yes.
you said that yours was always in the category of the harder child.
Yep.
Is that what you mean, or your financial situation?
No. I mean the hard child. Like
Parenting,
all the way hard. Like, literally, she cried. The doctor said, like, dude, never have I been... I don't even know where to start. Like, mentally, I've never been broken down as far as I got when Birdie was from 1 to, 5 months. Like, the worst... Not worst, but the hardest time...
Probably really tired.
...of my life. Never anything. I had always, I remember going into the garage, thinking, how does people even do this? I was like... I remember seeing, single moms. I was like, how's that a thing?
That's like me and my mom.
That's not a real thing. But then it turns out that I took her to the doctor, and she said that the Birdie is 1 in 125 kids. So every 125 kids.
So you're that lucky one.
She said, you're just lucky. And I was like, I feel lucky.
But we have to assume that all that energy and passion is probably going to come out later in her life. You know what I mean? Because she'll probably be like you. She'll probably be underneath the desk pulling on the mouse.
Well, yeah. Well, so what it was she didn't have colic or anything. She had nothing wrong with her. But she cried day and night, every other hour. And she slept. So she'd sleep an hour, eat, and then just scream. Not even cry, just scream. You know how you go to a concert and they will play so loud that it'll make your ear sound like it's
ringing and
not ringing, that's the max loudness you can hear.
It
plateaus.
Like when you've been at the Cane's Ballroom.
Yes.
For an evening.
Right near by that studio, right by that speaker, looking at the...
You feel the ground shaking.
That's what it was like. I literally lost hearing in my left ear. The doctor, gave us earplugs because she screamed so loud. We had
you lived with a grenade.
And it was every single day, every other hour for exactly 5 months on the dot. Exactly 5 months. I know, I counted every single day.
And then boom, something clicked or what?
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me.
Why aren't you screaming?
Yeah, I was sleeping and my body was already used to it. So every when the hour passed, panic would just zoom up my body and I'd flip out and get up and go. Or what happened was I got up and I was I got up slowly and I was like, oh man. And I was like, oh, she's not crying.
Is she breathing?
Yeah. So I just panicked and ran there and opened the door and checked on her and I was like, I don't want to pick her up because she's actually being quiet, but I don't know if she's breathing. You gotta watch
her chest
move.
Yeah, so I breathing? Yeah.
Listen, and I was getting real close, and I saw a chest move, and I was like, oh, she's breathing. And then I panicked again, I need to back out of this room.
Real slowly.
And I was let go of I was death grip on the crib, and I was letting go.
Yeah.
Just
and they'll sense
quiet.
you. They'll know when you're there.
No. Yeah, and literally every day after that, if I went to go check on her, I'd close my eyes and listen. Like, if my eyes hit her, instantly up. Every single
crazy?
time.
That
as
happens.
soon as my eyes
definitely
hit her, she just, what's going on? I'm like, no, I was just checking on you.
So she's how old now?
She's 3 years old now.
She's 3 years old. What does she like to do? If you got a day with her, I mean, what are you guys going to go do?
We like making videos. We have a ton of videos that we just go wherever. We go to the park. There's these really cool places downtown Tulsa where they have cardboard and construction paper and colors and paints, and we just go paint and make cool little.
Ooh, I need to bring crew up here, and we need to do that.
Yeah, for sure. You guys need to check it out.
So do you go to Gather Tulsa? Obviously, now that Gather Tulsa's over.
Not too much. It started getting cold before. It was like extreme heat, and then switched to extreme cold. There was no
middle ground. I like that skate park a lot, and for me and my family, that's great because Kelsey and crew will go walk down to that playground section, which isn't very far off from the skate park.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get a good hour or two in at the skate park, then I'll skate over down to where they are. We'll grab some concession food or whatever, and then we'll play.
Yeah.
And that place is awesome. What you looking at there? You checking?
I was making sure because you have to be somewhere, right? I didn't want to take your time.
We got time.
Yeah, we're so good.
Yeah, we are
an
hour and 2 minutes in.
If you guys are still listening,
good for you.
Good for you.
All right, well let's. We've only got a couple of things left here, so let's get on down the list.
Yeah.
I've got attracting better customers. Now, you've already kind of went over that. Part of it was as you saw your own growth and you realized your own value, did you, raise your prices? Did you have to get people hey, quit tagging me in every Facebook post of someone wanting just something random? Tag me in the big jobs, or what was it? You know what I mean?
I guess, am I speaking to people who want to get into it?
I just want to know how you did it.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean? What was where you started going? Because you did my wedding for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was 6 years ago, and you gave me a really good price. I want to say it wasn't but a couple of $100.
Yeah.
And of course we were friends and everything, but it wasn't far off.
That's not true. I mean, not the friends part, the $100. It was thousands and thousands.
Oh, I didn't say 100. I said hundreds, because it wasn't $1,000. But now, you know what I mean? And that was, you gave me the photos.
Yeah.
You know, and I spent not quite $1,000 and got everything I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, did it get to where you had to be like, look, guys, I know that we're friends, and I know that everybody wants to support me, but there's a line here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually a really good question. What I did was... So, what you do is you take account of your living. Like, you go over for a year, how much money do I need to consistently grow and pay my rent and all my bills for that year?
Just to stay afloat price and to live comfortable price.
Yes. And then I'll set it for what I want to be comfortable, and then I'll add more to it. And then what everyone else sees is this. So what happens is when people come to me and they need like the hookup, or they're my friend or something, it's way easy for me to drop this huge price, and then I'm still where I want to be, and they go, "What, bro? Hey,
right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you hooked me up,
dude!" Yeah, they're like $800 off. Oh my gosh, or $1,000.
That's the same way it used to be at the skate shop when I used to run blindside for Devin. Sometimes you need that really expensive thing that you can discount a little bit.
Yep.
And it just keeps things. Everybody feels like they're hooked up.
Yep, everyone's happy. Literally keeps
exactly.
everyone.
Yeah. So that's where you did it. You were like, okay, here's where I want to be. I'm going to set the bar really high so when they get me down a little bit, I'm still good.
Solid.
It's kind of like when you sell a car. You price it higher because you know you're going to get juked down.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the ones that don't G you down, you get a good little...
Yeah, you get what you asked for every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about travel and business. You travel a lot, right? Where is the farthest that you like you're like, oh man, I don't want to drive farther than that for this. You know what I mean? Are you doing 3-hour drives?
Yeah, I used to do 3-hour drives on the or 6-hour drives because it was 3 and 3 back.
Right.
I used to do it almost every weekend when it gets warm. I just love going to literally Tulsa. There's amazing places that are in Oklahoma that doesn't look like they're from Oklahoma, and they're all literally exactly 3 hours away from here. There's the Wichita Mountains.
So you're sitting in the middle.
Yeah, we're sitting right in the middle. Then there's the Salt Plains, just all solid white salt lake that's dried up. And then they have the Little Sahara Desert is actually 3 hours away too. It's this huge sand dunes. Looks like you're in a big desert. And then there's one more, but it skipped my mind.
Tahlequah. No, I'm just kidding. Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Now, there's some pretty places in Tahlequah for sure. But and your photography, you showed us cool places in Tulsa. You took me to that park where the squirrels came up to me.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like, hey, what's up, humans? What food do you have?
I remember that, your maternity photos.
Yeah. Kelsey, touched the squirrel almost.
Yeah, she's fed it out of her hand. That was awesome.
That place was cool.
Yeah. And then, because one of the big parts of my job that I love the most is location scouting. So when I'm not shooting on those 3 days, I'm constantly going location scouting. Now, what's really cool is I get to bring Birdie with me, so we get to go see somewhere cool and just hang out. And I bring Jordan,
so she can kind of be your test subject, and you get good photos of your daughter.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't take too many photos of her. I just like to just be there with her and we go hang out. I'm like, oh yeah. Just
that's good to be in the moment. That's something that a lot of us have to realize. You don't always have to have your phone out. Myself included, shooting photos and videos, because I love to capture everything, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's not the best, right?
Yeah, I definitely learned to pick and choose. What I do is I set up moments that I do capture, and then the rest of them I actually live with it, in the moment.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's really important. So where's the farthest you've traveled recently that you just really enjoyed?
We just got back from Hawaii.
That's longer than 3 hours.
And before that, we were in.
This was a paid gig in Hawaii.
Yeah, they pay for our flight, pay for our stay, pay for our rent-a-car.
Did you have to have a passport to go to Hawaii?
Nope, that's what I thought too. I was worried.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You don't have to have a passport. It's pretty crazy.
Huh?
And dude, that place is amazing.
How long was your flight?
24 hours.
24 hours from where? From here in Tulsa?
Yeah, from here we went to Dallas, went to San Antonio, went to California, and then out.
Why do you gotta fly from Dallas to San Antonio? That seems. Apparently, it's the airport, and I mean, it all makes sense. But doesn't that seem funny? It takes you just as long to board and wait and get up into the air, and then all of a sudden you're landing, get off the.
Yes.
I never understood that, but they have their system. So.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
So tell me about Hawaii. I want to hear about Hawaii. We all want to hear about Hawaii.
Hawaii's crazy. The people there are exactly like Indians. They even run on a thing called Hawaii time.
Was it like Rocket Power?
Or they're like...
Or they woogie, woogie. No? Little cousins, no?
But you know how you run on Indian time?
Yeah.
People are late. That's what they say. They go, we're running on Hawaii time. We'll get there when we get there. And I was like... You guys are exactly like Indians.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's funny because the same thing happens with Spanish people. You know, anybody south of the border in Mexico is a Mexican, even though back in the day we were all Indians. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a second. So we drew a line in the dirt, and all those people are, you know what I mean?
All right, you guys are something else.
Yeah, now you guys are different. But it's funny that even off in Hawaii, on an island by themselves, they're still late.
Yeah,
you've got only one island.
And they have the same exact story as the Indians too.
Really?
The white man went there and I believe they held the queen up by gunpoint.
And they just threw coconuts back and that was,
they
can't fight this.
They held them up so they put the army base on each island, like a Marine or a Navy base? I don't know.
Yeah.
A military base.
I used to have a cousin that was stationed in Honolulu.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they forcefully did it, though. And then apparently the locals, we went and talked to them, and they said that their ancestors, when the military got there, that at night they would come wipe their crops out. And then they would make jobs for those people.
And they had no choice.
Yeah, so they had to be reliant on the government.
Oh man, that is terrible.
Yeah, and they don't have what we have. They need to make an agreement soon saying free health care, free.
Yeah, we
need
owe you guys some reparation for all of this.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's see what we've got. I think we've only got one last thing, and that is marketing. Now, you've been really upping your marketing, and you've been sharing this with me in our spare time.
Yes.
And you've been giving me tips and advice. Share some more of that. Share what's really taken you to that next level. You know what I mean? Because your social media following is growing big time.
Oh, yeah.
What were some of the things that got you on that path?
Well, photography is its own thing. Like, you can't almost compare it to any other type of job. So, like, sometimes when I explain it to people, I tell them that I'm a drug dealer.
Oh, God. Your drug is photography.
No, my drug is dopamine.
Okay.
So I take photos of them, make them at their best angles, make them look amazing. When they post it and people love it, it gets that dopamine. They just,
they hit
more of
the
it.
likes popping up.
Yeah.
The likes popping up.
Yeah, so literally I'm selling dopamine. That's what it is.
Right, and people don't want what they really look like. They want you to make the teeth whiter, the eyes brighter, the skin clearer, right? Yeah. Am I right, though?
Yeah.
I mean, you send them the raw image, they're like, let's shoot
I've
again.
had that happen a few times, too, because they're like, can you make me skinnier? So I send them the raw image, and they go, you killed it.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Exactly.
Like,
or they say, hey, can you make this cheaper? And you send the raw image. So, what else in the marketing? What do you...
Okay, so
out?
for photography, marketing is super easy because it's like selling drugs, dopamine, a mental chemical, and so it spreads like no other. And then also we have style shoots we can do for weddings and stuff. So that just working with other vendors is what helps spread your name quicker.
Right. So rather than trying to lift yourself up, you're having these people that are bigger than you promoting you.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to do it. They're doing it for you.
Sometimes though they come to me because my following is bigger. They're like they always want that number. Like,
right. That's just natural.
Calm down.
Right. Definitely. Well, tell me about like on your Instagram. Is there like a certain system that you have for like I'm gonna post this picture at this time, and I'm not gonna post too much and flood the feed. And I'm going to do this on my story. This is only good enough for the story. And this is good enough for a post. How do you draw that line?
Okay, so you want to go off your area and the 9 to 5 people who are kind of pushing this towards. And they wake up in the mornings around 8, 7 o'clock. And the first thing they do is check their phone.
Right, use the restroom, check their phone.
Because they had to go to bed early. All their friends are partying, and they wanted to see what they did while I had to go to bed early.
Right. They got to live vicariously through the people that don't have as much responsibility.
So you want to post in the morning when they're waking up and checking their feed. So that's the best time to post. And then at lunch, when they go to lunch, they're like, well, I'm at work. My friends are having a time of their life. Let's go see what they're doing.
So is this the time where you would post something in your story, though, because you don't want to put too many posts in a day?
Oh, no.
Or are you not the type of person that's worried about your overall amount of posts?
No, you definitely want to be worried about your overall amount. These are just the best times within the day to post.
Okay, so if you missed the breakfast, you're going to do it at lunch.
Yeah.
Like if 8 o'clock is past, you're not posting at 10. You're going to wait till 12.
Yeah, but mine are scheduled, so my next month and a half I don't have to post because they're all ready to go. They scheduled the post.
So you have on your page, it's going to do it on its own?
Yeah, it does it on its own.
So you get your material ahead of time. So you're like the TV stations. I think you're doing this today, and you did this 4 years ago.
No. If you look at my story, that's what's happening today.
Okay,
so
but
I show it off.
So you're telling me that there's an algorithm inside of social media that will post it for you when you want it to do it?
No. So there's another app. I use this app called Planoly.
Planoly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it posts, you put your post in there, type what you want to say, tag who you want it to tag, and you set it to post a different day. So I post like every other day or every 3 days, and I just set them up hundreds of them. They just.
And you're a really organized person. Like, you're planning everything out, because we were up there in your apartment before this. And how many boards do you have on your walls?
My whiteboards?
Your whiteboards with the calendars with, hey, this is what's going on, and this is what time, and this is...
I have 4 60-inch by 40 inches, and then I have 3 or 4 smaller ones that I keep near me.
That you can just change and things like this.
And I have my vision board up there, so everything that I want to happen in my life I have. And then it's like my law of attraction board.
Okay, so you have like, these are the things I want to accomplish. These are the items I want to buy. Here they are on this board. I'm working towards this. This is my goal.
And a good way to know, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know about law of attraction. Is it real? Does it work? A good way to know, because everyone has it happen to them, they just don't know it. A good example is, you know, when you buy that new car, it doesn't have to be a new car, just the car newer
it's new to you. Yeah.
Yes. So let's say it's a Toyota Corolla. Those are everywhere. And it's like the 2015 version. It's got that weird little hood. And you wake up in the morning and you see that car every single morning before you go to work. And then all of a sudden, you start noticing all the Toyota Corollas everywhere.
Definitely, that happens.
Right?
Definitely.
You're like, man, look at that one. It's exactly like mine. And some people even say, like, I know the car that exact same color, exact same year as mine, where they live somewhere over in this neighborhood, because they see it now. So what's happening is they go outside, they see that car in the morning, and it's important. The morning is very important. Like, you see it in the morning, it goes into your brain, and now you see them everywhere. The trick is those cars were already out there before you owned this thing.
Right, definitely.
You just couldn't see them.
Or you weren't paying attention.
Well, technically, yeah. I like to go with you didn't see them.
Okay, you didn't see them. This is your guest show. Like, you didn't see them.
Wait, so what's cool is you didn't see them. Those are already out there. So what you want to do is take that same exact thing and put opportunities in front of yourself.
Definitely.
See it every single morning, because these opportunities, they're already out there, but you can't see them until you see them every morning. So
you focus on them.
Yeah.
And they tunnel vision almost to those
You can
things.
do that with your husbands, ladies.
There you go.
Put the Rock's picture on your wall or whatever.
I also would like to point out, though, you gotta dress and be the part. You've got to be what you're wanting to attract, right? I mean, you couldn't just look like a hobo and, you know, talk with cuss words all the time and all this, and people wouldn't give you the same respect. So you've got to be what you're wanting to be, almost fake it till you make it kind of a thing too, right?
Fake it till you make it is exactly it. It's definitely one of the life hacks that I teach my students. Like, it's a real thing. And I always have them to constantly post. The key is to constantly posting, and they're always like, I want to be into weddings. And I was like, well, constantly post weddings. And they're like, well, I don't have weddings. And then what I tell them is, you need to go. What I used to do when I was starting is I'd go to all the wedding venues, and if you go on their Instagram, you'll see all the brides like selfieing at those wedding venues. They're already married. They already have their dress. So I'd go message them, say, hey, you're a photographer, Sex? Come hang out with me. I'm just kidding.
Or did you do it like almost free sometimes?
Yeah, I did it for free. Yeah, and what I said is just come hang. Let's go shoot, and then bring your awesome dress, and we'll go somewhere cooler than.
See, that's what I've been doing with graphic design, because I'm wanting to do more and more freelance graphic design, because, you know, I have the degree and I've been working in home renovation for the last 2 years. So I'm like, man, I want to use more of this, but getting your name out there is pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been having to just approach people and do it for free. And I'm still doing that. If anybody needs some design work, better get it while it's before I get too good. I'm going to be like TheeJonboi, charging
tons.
Real money.
Real money.
Yeah. But,
real money.
Well, what else do you want to tell anybody before we get on out of here? We're going to wrap it up.
You know what? I'd like to go over mindset and meditation.
Okay, let's go over it.
One of the things that has changed my life, we left the best for last.
Okay, here you go, guys. Hopefully you're still tuned in.
Still tuned in.
This is the good stuff, the golden hour.
One of the things that has changed my life is meditation. Like, I didn't realize how much, like, I was just into my phone, like...
Will you define meditation to you? Okay,
so meditation to me is, like, going to the gym for your brain. Basically what it's doing is learning how to... A person needs to know... How do I explain this? So what you want to start off with is focus. There's focus meditation. So this isn't religious. This isn't some kind of spiritual thing. It's literally your brain and teaching it how to sit still. Like, how to sit still and to concentrate. They have this thing called a body scan where you just scan your body, like, pretend like there's a little printer, or what are those, copiers?
Yeah, a little green light that goes over it.
So pretend that's going over your body and your mind, and you just want to feel your body. Like, do I have any aches and pains? Am I hungry? Do I feel an itch? All the way down to your toes and all the way back. And you want to learn how to do that fully, like, as many times as you can without going, did I eat today? Ooh, is it 50-cent corn dogs at Sonic today? You know what I mean?
So you want to get your mind to hush down.
You want not to get it to hush down. You just want to... so focus is like a thing in your brain. It's like a laser pointer. And you want to be able to keep your laser pointer on your body as long as possible. And just extend that as long as possible. And that's what's growing your focus powers, or your focus juice.
Right.
Because you've spoken to, like, younger kids, and you only have, like, a short span to where they're like, yeah, I'm listening.
And then they're back in their phone, or they're thinking about what they're going to have for lunch.
Yeah, and it's just because their focus span is just not that long. And it leads to depression, anxiety, it leads to overwhelmed feeling or cloudiness, like, it leads to a lot of things that...
So what benefit are you getting from this self-scan, this meditation? What are some of the things that you're like, man, this upped this in my life?
Well, one, the being able to stay present and to actually be there for my daughter. Like, before I was just like, yeah, you know, all right, Birdie, or you'll see parents like, them going, Dad, check out this. Like, chill, what do you want? Chill, right. What is it? And they're just not present. They're just reacting off of something that they would consider annoying. It doesn't matter if it's their daughter or a dog or someone else's kid. They're like, being pulled on and yelled my name 100 times is annoying. I'm just reacting. I'm not actually present. So if something happens to me, I react. I'm trying to stop that from happening and being more present.
Well, that's awesome.
So that's kind of a lot of it. Then also, what it changes is my fear. Like, overall fear, not like any general thing, but not too long ago, I was doing meditation for like 3 months, and I was always scared. I'll just leave my charger in the living room, right? And it's dark, pitch black. So I'd bring my phone, shine it up to the ceiling so light goes everywhere, and I'm like going to get my charger. It's on the other side of the thing, and I'd get it. If I heard a noise though, or if I saw a shadow, I was gone. I'm like, nope. I don't need my phone.
I've seen enough scary movies. I'm out.
But then what I realized after 3 months, like, it's so gradual, the benefits. Like, I walked in there pitch black without my phone, went over there, grabbed my charger, and I was walking back, and I go, what am I doing? Oh my gosh. And then I was like, wait a minute. I don't feel scared.
You canceled that out.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like something's like about to touch me on the neck. Like, oh, don't touch me.
So how do you transfer that into your work?
Okay, so how I transfer that into my work is you can also use that on your creative juices. You can do your really lengthens your creative juices. A lot of photographers and artists and stuff will know what I'm talking about, and you're an artist as well. Like, it feels like sometimes, like, it'll hit you. Your juices will be full, and you're like, I need to get to the computer. I need to get writing this down. A song's hitting me. A type of art is hitting me, and I need to get this logo out. Blah 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 before it goes away. And you're just like,
yeah, I'm like that. And then I'm jotting in my notebook real quickly before it goes.
Yeah, and then people will come to you, and you're like, whoa, wait,
hold on,
go away. Do not say anything.
Let me at least sketch the basics out so I'll remember it.
Yes, and what I've learned is doing meditation is just completely gave me full control of it. Like, before, I'd be doing my editing, and it'll hit me, and I'll be like, yes, this is looking amazing, and Birdie would come, or Jordan would need something, and I'd be like, no, please, no, I have to do this before it goes away. Yeah, I need to do this before it goes away, and then I can come and hang out when it's gone, not when it's here. And so it went from that to being able to do it whenever. So
you've been able to just pause it,
yes.
keep it, go be a father.
Yep.
Be present with your significant other.
Yep.
Or
take out the trash.
Whatever that is, without it angering you.
Yes.
Because that's a big thing.
That is a huge thing. A lot of artists will resonate with this because, well, if you don't when that juice is happening and you want to write this stuff down, it will anger you if you can't, if something stops you. And you don't mean to, but you'll push it out on whatever's stopping you.
Exactly.
A person or a cat or something.
Yeah, just whatever's around you.
Kick that cat. Get out of here, cat.
Yeah.
On my keyboard and stuff. And then, yeah, so it can lead to anger. It can lead to depression. It can lead to anxiety because you're just like panicking because you need to get it done. And then meditation is just wipe that away. Like, I don't need to be at the computer or on my phone. I can just completely just be with her. Remember how you were saying, like, when we were kids, we could just play. We wouldn't worry about stuff. That's what I can finally actually do with my daughter. And
you're comfortable enough with your skill set that you can turn this off and turn it back on.
Yes.
The work is still gonna be there.
Yes, and sometimes it's even better. Like, the more I let that juices float back up, I can just.
So you might be off playing with your daughter, and then something might click while she's playing with the crayons or something, and like, oh man, this would work in my work. Like, good thing I took a pause.
Yep.
Well.
And it's even further than that. Like, there's so many more benefits. Like, my dreams have changed. Before, like.
Your dreams when you're sleeping, or your aspirations?
No, when I sleep. Like, before, it's like almost a lot of artists can resonate with this as well. Like, scary movies aren't as scary to other people because they see the scary movie and that's what it is. Artist minds can take that scary movie and make it way worse in your mind. You know what I mean?
Like, I can't watch scary movies. All my friends know me. If you put a horror movie on, I'm not going to watch it because I will dream about it that night.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't like to enter new fears into my head. So I just try to stay away from that.
Because it's like an arsenal that your mind's building up for when you're in the dark by yourself.
Exactly. It's like you said, like with your phone above your head.
No. Like this. So with the meditation, it's gave me full control of that. I can see the scariest, craziest stuff at night. My mind will go delete, and I can go bed, not dream a single thing about it. Like, it is gone. Before, I'd be on Halloween, always on Facebook. The stupid Annabelle commercial comes on. I'm like, great.
Now I gotta watch a comedy show.
Great. I'm not sleeping. I guess I better pick up Netflix to binge on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it gave me full control. Like, my dreams have turned into me helping people, stopping bad things from them. Like, almost to the point where I can control my dreams, but not fully. Like,
I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking with a dream specialist, and the guy was saying that if you have a problem or a project you're working on and you can go to sleep on it, your brain processes it like thousands of times faster while you're sleeping, and you will wake up with the solution a lot of the time.
Oh,
so I mean,
that might be a more controlled brain, though.
Well, I'm saying if you're able to sleep peacefully, you probably wake up refreshed. You know what I mean, and able to grind harder that next day.
Oh yeah, and it's like, and then like business ideas come to me and all kinds of stuff. It's almost like my creative juices were so small that I was like, when one would come, I just wanted to hold on to it real tight and make sure I get it. And now it's like, so many come, I get to just pick and choose. Like, nah, not this one for now. I want this one. Like, it just really opened the doors as far as creativity, business, being with my daughter.
And now you're doing really well, right?
Yeah, now I'm doing crazy well.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewing audience before we...
Yeah, I think last thing would be the meditation. If you look up this app, maybe we'll put it in the...
Yeah, we'll tag Aiming Arrow Photography. We'll tag, if there's any other of your companies or anything you want, you can give them to me afterwards, and I'll try to put them in below the description so everybody can find you for both advice, whether they want some advice on photography, maybe they want to know what camera they want, maybe they need some tips setting their manual settings, or maybe they want to pay you to do a photography gig altogether. We'll put that in there.
For sure. So where I got started in meditation, though, the app is called Headspace.
Okay.
It'll change your world. Just do it.
Well, elaborate on that. You can't just say that. I mean,
it just taught me meditation.
Okay.
It teaches you different types of meditation, and it teaches you how your brain is supposed to work and how you're supposed to use your brain. Never in my life have I ever been taught how to use my brain. You just grow up with people who don't know how to use their brain.
Right. And we've got to take advantage of all of that. I mean, you can find almost anything on the internet now. So why not take these tips, right?
You're right. And wait, so past meditation, me and Jordan, we do. Have you ever heard of sensory deprivation tanks?
I've heard of them, but I don't really know what it is. Is that those, like, is it obviously water of some sort? A tank?
So what it is a giant bathtub. It's about 11 inches deep, and it's full with 100 or 1,000 pounds of medical grade Epsom salt. So you float.
Is that
with
what
top.
Michael Jackson used to sleep on?
Is it? I don't know.
I think so. I think so. We'll have to look that up. Don't quote me on that one. I think so.
So you float to the top. The air is the same temperature as your body. The water is the same temperature as your body. You put earbuds in so you can't hear anything. So now, and it's pitch black, so you can't hear anything, feel anything. You can't feel your body, and you can't see anything or smell anything. So, so how our brain works is on the 5 senses. We have inputs on our 5 senses. So we're constantly feeling something. Like, I'm a little cold right now. I feel my jacket on me. I hear you talking, some weird noise back there. And then it even doubles and triples when we have social media like Facebook, Instagram, just constantly inputs, blah, 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 blah.
Definitely.
Even when we sleep, constantly, just inputs. This is the only place in the whole universe where it cuts them all off. It turns all the inputs off.
Huh.
You cannot see anything, you can't hear anything, you can't feel anything, and you can't smell or taste anything. Unless you get some of that salt water in your mouth.
Oh my God.
Then you can taste the salt.
Bad time there.
But what happens though is, like, you start floating, and I swear it feels like I'm not on my back after a while. It feels like I'm going up, and then it feels like I'm going forward. Like, sometimes I would even, like, jolt, like...
Even though you know that you're laying on your back, you feel like you're standing upright because you just don't know where you're at.
It feels like you're going forward. Like, your body goes, whoa, we're leaning forward. And then sometimes I'll go, I'm going to fall. And then sometimes you can't feel your body. Like, I'll, like, panic sometimes, and then I'll touch my body, like, okay, I'm still
there. So
there.
where do you go to do this?
I go to H2O Oasis.
H2O Oasis.
H2O Oasis, it's in Tulsa on 51st and Sheridan at the Farm Shopping Center. And their place is beautiful. Theirs cost a little bit more than the rest of the places in Tulsa, but the rest of the places in Tulsa look like a high school gym locker room. You don't want to...
Oh, man. So you get what you pay for, just like the photography.
Theirs, you get, like, tea with CBD in it. You get a cool robe and, like, all kinds of... They do oxygen tank and stuff like that. It's really cool. And, wait, so what that is, though, that tank, like, it turns off all of your inputs. So your brain is left with just you and your brain. Like, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone that doesn't do the focus meditation first. You definitely want to... Prepare for it, because it is an experience in itself. Like, what it feels like I'm me, and then pretend David is my mind. Remember how we were saying, like, I'm giving scary stuff to my mind to use against me? Yeah. So you're my mind. It almost feels like we're separate, almost like I'm me, you're my mind. When you go in the tank, it feels like you're the steering wheel of your life. It feels like you're going to give it control, like, all right, you get control, go for it. And
to your mind.
Yeah, and that is scary. That is unbelievably scary. When you sit home and watch this, you're thinking, man, what a wuss. That's not scary. But to give your mind fully control, like, I remember just holding on, like, I'm going to give you control. Do not go anywhere scary. We're in a pitch black room, and I'm naked. I can't run out because people will just...
Yeah, exactly.
I can't go... I'm not nowhere near the lights. I wouldn't be able to find the lights if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, do not go anywhere scary. You know what I mean? So you're, like, fully given a control. Before I did meditation, and I really got control of it, so it didn't go anywhere scary. Like, if anything, it went... What happens is your brain goes over your life. and you really get a sense of what I'm doing wrong, how I'm speaking is wrong, like, or not wrong, but just harmful to others.
Right.
Music that's harmful to me, people who are toxic and harmful to me, TV shows, movies, news. Like, when you come out of it, it's like almost being...
Like an upgrade?
No. It's almost like...
Maybe a consciousness?
No, it's like being born again almost. Not like in a Christian sense, but in a... This world sucks. It's almost like...
Sounds refreshing.
It's refreshing. Like, once you go back into the world after that, like, you hear this music and you're like, man, this is awful music.
This isn't helping me.
Yeah, this is really bad. You can feel the badness of it, and then you can feel the badness of people. Like, since then, like, I've even went as far as, detoxing from people, even in my own family. I don't
definitely myself as well.
I don't go near them. I don't go near certain friends anymore. Like,
right, or at least in really small doses, so that they don't rub off on you.
Yes.
So you feel like in bettering you also bettered your work.
Yes.
Because you were bringing the best you to the ball game.
Yes. That's a good way to say it.
That's great, man. Well, I guess let's see where we're at.
Yeah, no, we can.
1 hour and 36 minutes.
I think I see Jody.
Oh, she's probably ready to
go.
Oh,
she's giving me the...
She's giving you the time. Here she comes. We're almost done.
What time is it?
I told you my button doesn't work. I jumped that.
What time is it, Jody?
It's like 4:20.
Okay, well, sounds like everybody needs to get going.
Yeah.
All right, well, everyone be sure to look up TheeJonboi Hefflin, Jonathan Hefflin, Aiming Arrow Photography. He's on Instagram. Where else are you? Instagram?
I'm here in Tulsa.
Yeah, but you got more social media, or are you just mostly Instagram?
Yeah, mostly Instagram and my website, but...
What can they find you under? Just Aiming Arrow Photography on Instagram.
Yeah, Aiming Arrow Photography on everything. I got the Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, website.
All right.
I got it all.
Well, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks, everyone who hung in till the end of that.
You are amazing.
Fun. All right, bud. I'm going to get on the road back to Tahlequah, and you got to go do your photography, right? You got a gig right now.
I do got a gig right now.
Right now. All right. Here we go.
See ya.
I guess I can hit pause on mine.